voting has been taking place in the Iranian presidential runoff, which is being contested by a conservative, Saeed Jalili, and a reformist, Masoud Pezeshkian. The turnout in the opening round was a record low, with many Iranians disenchanted by the candidates allowed to contest the vote. But we understand that today's turnout has been higher. The country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, called for greater participation this time around, though he stressed that abstention was not an act against the system. Well, for more on the Iranian runoff election, I'm joined now in the studio by the Iranian journalist and businessman Mohammed Ali Erami. Mr. Erami, thank you very much indeed for joining us. I suppose I can talk to you now because your backdrop is all ship-shape and seaworthy. What are you doing in Nigeria for a start?
First of all, Charles, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity to send my regards to your very hospitality nations. Nigerian people is fantastic people. So thank you so much once again. We are negotiating for the officials, members or private sectors to conversion petrol car to CNG.
Okay, right.
Because CNG is the best alternative of the petrol.
Right, it's a better alternative.
Yeah, petrol.
Right, okay.
Petrol.
Well, that tells us why you're in Nigeria, because
Yes.
I mean, you don't sort of wander down the street and see Iranians hanging
Exactly.
out in Nigeria. But let's turn to today's vote. How predictable is the outcome of that election at this stage?
Yes. This election is running by the two parties, the reformist parties and conservative party. The reformist party candidate is Mr. Dr. Pezeshkian, and then the conservative party candidate is Mr. Jalili, Dr. Jalili. So the election has started at 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I received the report that the government has extended for 3 hours more because of the welcome.
Right, the large turnout.
The large, yes.
Right.
The last report that I received, the percentage of the participations, of eligible participations, it should be around 26 million people out of the 61 million people.
Right, so
eligible.
compared to past elections, that's a significant turnout.
Exactly.
And is that because you've essentially got the race between a conservative and a reformist?
Exactly, yes. And then I predict that people is welcome to reformist parties because of the people, Iranian people likes to make
they want change, basically.
They want change,
right.
And then they want to negotiate to connection with the people
right.
easily, you know.
Well, since you mentioned that, let's then talk about the reformist candidate,
yes.
Masoud Pezeshkian. I understand he's very keen to move Iran towards greater international cooperation and away from isolation.
Exactly. I have a very good relation with Mr. Pezeshkian since a long time ago. So he's. So
it'll be good for you if he wins.
Yes, he's approaching to the dialogue civilization that our former president, Mr. Ayatollah Khatami, has announced in the United Nations, if you remember. He announced about the dialogue civilizations. He is following for this approaching of the Mr. Khatami.
Right.
So he believes that the peaceful and the negotiations and dialogue civilizations we can promote, and we can welcome to all people, all countries. That's it.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, to be fair to Iran, they did move in that direction.
Yes.
When they signed the nuclear proliferation agreement.
Yeah.
They were in fact being, to some extent, reinstated back into the international order, if you like,
Yes,
until Donald Trump came out and pulled out of that agreement.
Yes, but Mr. Pezeshkian announced in the campaign of the election that he will trying to negotiation with the Western countries and United States, maybe to find out some way to
revive that agreement.
And
right.
Solutions. Yes.
Okay, but even if Mr. Pezeshkian was to win, I mean, how much difference would that make? Because people have voted for moderates and reformists in the past in Iran, only to see them unable to do very much, because it is the spiritual leader and the hardline clerics that hold the real power in Iran.
Actually, this election is different for the others. This election is very tough for the racing of the elections, very tough. And then this is the competition of the two major, party, conservative and reformist. And now I believe, I and Alexis, that people is welcome to reformist
No, I understand,
parties.
but what I'm saying is that even if the reformists win,
yes,
are they actually going to have real power? Because it is Ayatollah Khamenei,
yes,
who is the spiritual leader, who holds all the power.
Ayatollah Khamenei is not really influence of this politically, because Ayatollah Khamenei is a spiritual leader.
Right.
He is he's not involving for the details of the policies.
Yeah, okay. Well, I want to thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
It's taken a lot to actually bring you to come and sit down
Thank
here.
you
I've known
so
you for
much,
a couple of
Charles.
years,
Thank
you come and go.
Thank
so
you.
we really appreciate your insights
Thank
into
you so
what
much.
is happening in Iran today. Mohammed Ali Erami is an Iranian journalist and businessman.